But you got to hit the record button.
So we didn't have the record button going then when we were
No.
to take a picture.
We got to hit the record button. Check it out today. Mike and I on Just These Guys, we talk about how to be successful in 2024 with two great tips. Mm-hmm. First one is quit tomorrow.
And number 2, do it now.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody?
Woo! Welcome back to Just These Guys, you know. We got Mike.
And we got Lance.
We got Mike on the mic.
We got a little New Year's.
Woo! Man.
I can't believe how catchy that is. It's good. It's good.
It's kind of like
there we go.
We should be DJs instead of podcasters.
Yeah. 105.2.
What if we do the next sermon that way?
That'd be fun.
You know, you have the band kind of play this, and
yeah.
I'll be in the back with a microphone.
Yep.
You know, y'all can put a spotlight on me, put a spotlight on you on the stage.
Yep.
I'll pull people in from the audience.
Yep. You can be
get Granny up to dance.
DJ Jazzy.
Yeah.
DJ Jazzy Lance.
Well, happy New Year.
Yes.
2024.
Gonna be a big year.
It is.
For a many a reason. It's gonna be a big year. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the first order of business for the new year is for, how many times are we going to say for today?
However many you want.
For you to take the forked whip.
Oh, forked whip.
And pour in your decaffeinated.
Yes, indeed.
Coffee.
What I have experienced over the last couple of weeks here was getting used to Folgers instant decaf.
Good night.
Oh yeah, I've gone
instant.
I've regressed.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, it's crazy what you can get used to.
Well, it reminds you of being on the road with the band and the cheap hotels, the instant coffee. Mm-hmm. Some lady named Mabel making it.
It's good.
What do you expect?
It's not as sweet.
I didn't do the horchata macho chismo. That's decaf coffee with your whipped topping.
Now, see, here's the deal. This is a good cup of coffee.
But you don't like it.
It would not have been a good cup of coffee had I not already gotten myself over the last 2 weeks used to a really crappy cup of coffee. Folgers. Instant coffee.
I'll put like a mud the bottom. You know how they do cheesecakes and they make the bottom layer.
Oh yeah, pack in
that crust. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start packing the bottom of your coffee cups with brown sugar. About a half inch of sediment in there.
Just a slow release of goodness. The sweets.
There'll be a half inch of brown sugar on the bottom. There'll be that 2-inch layer of foam on the top. And right in the middle, there'll be a thin layer of coffee.
It'll be good.
Geologists one day will be looking at this going,
what has he been taking in?
2024.
Just crazy. It honestly seems like it's just a few years ago. It was 1987. Doesn't it?
I have a memory in my head. This bothered me.
Yeah.
When I was 6 years old, laying there in bed. I even remember where I was, laying there in bed. And I was trying to do the math And it's probably because my brother played that disturbing song from the 60s about in the year 2525.
Yeah.
Nightmares. But I remember laying there in bed doing the math, trying to do the math, trying to calculate, one, how old would I be in
Right.
2025? And two, would I live that long?
Yeah.
I could not fathom the number. I'm so, I got my toes and my fingers and I'm counting 25. And here we are, 2024.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. 2024. Now, what happened? We're supposed to be flying around in cars and,
It's close.
according to the Jeffersons. Or Jetsons.
Moving on up
Yeah.
to the east
Both of
side.
Jeffersons and
To a
Jetsons.
deluxe apartment in the sky. So did you ever get over your love bug fascination?
I did. I had no clue, apparently, what you were talking about. Completely missed it. And
Well, it wasn't even
jumped
just the
on.
one sentence. I mean, I said love boat, and then I talked about the love boat. And you were off on love bugs.
I was apparently taking a little trip somewhere at that point. Had no clue. And your response, I thought, was, what? That's weird. You said something about your
tangentialness.
Yeah. I was like, what? Not only do I not understand what that word means, I have no idea why he even thought that would be.
Well, thoughts flow. Thoughts flow. Thoughts flow. And if they're flowing with reason and sense, if there's a connection between the thoughts, like A plus B plus C, these all things line up reasonably well, then the person is said to have, good associations between thoughts. If those thoughts are not lining up real well, but you can kind of see how they got there, maybe they're called loose associations. And then if somebody just, goes off the rails, it's called tangentialness, because not only do they go off the rail, the thought is loosely associated, but they keep going down that other road.
Dude, you're just describing my life.
All the way to Amarillo.
Yeah.
Now, if they manage to, have that loose association that takes them off the road and they start towards Amarillo, but about halfway there, they realize they're going down the wrong road and they circle it all back to Wichita, then it's called circumstantial.
And they're thinking to themselves, I should have hung a left in Albuquerque. Who said that?
Bugs Bunny.
There you go.
But before we go to Bugs Bunny, real quick, look really hard into the camera. Right there. Look really hard. Lean in. There you go. Thank you. Because later you've got fog.
Yeah.
Just at the top here. Yeah. And it looks like you have these little white eyebrows.
Y'all got the heat up in here. I should have worn long sleeve. Glasses are fogging over. Well, so what's happening in the world of wisdom?
In the world of wisdom?
What you got?
Well, it's 2024. Many people make New Year's resolutions. Many people look at this next year is going to be better than the last year. And how do you do that? That's, we make those commitments, we make those resolutions. Yay! We're going to, but how do you follow through? How do you actually do it?
Sure.
I'm going to make cheesecake. Well, how do you make the cheesecake? I just scribbled down this morning some thoughts about success in 2024. When we make the New Year's resolution, 23% quit the first week.
23%.
23%. And it's probably more than that because, we're surveying, we're researching people who will say they made a New Year's resolution, but how many people in their head say, you know what, next year I'm gonna stop drinking.
Sure.
But they don't tell anybody that. And so, this is a loose number.
Yeah.
But it just illustrates that within the first week of resolving to do anything, whether it's New Year's or any other time of the year, within that first week, there's a significant drop-off in people who are able to continue on and follow through with their pledge or their commitment to that change. Now, by the end of the first month, almost half have quit. And, how many people try to stop smoking? How many people try to stop drinking? How many people, try to start working out, eating healthier, making more time, go back to school? There's all these positive changes we declare we're going to make. I'm going to save money this year. And within the first week, 25% of us are dropping out of that resolution. And by the first month, half have fallen off and are no longer pursuing that resolution anymore. So I came up with some quick tips for how to be successful in 2024. And I don't like goals. Goals are static. Goals are fixed points. Goals usually amount to a behavior. I'm going to do 20 push-ups, or I'm going to, not drink for a week. It's a behavior that's outside of me. Okay, I'm going to go do those 20 push-ups. I'm going to work out until I can do 20 push-ups. Once I can do 20 push-ups, that's my goal.
Yeah.
But it's a behavior that's outside of me. So it can become an albatross around our neck that we have to do these things. We set that goal where, the number, weight, I'm going to be 120 pounds, or I'm going to be 180 pounds, whatever your goal is. If that's what you're operating on, then it's an external mechanism, and it's an external measure of something. So I always talk about vision. What kind of man do you want to be?
Yeah.
What kind of mother do you want to be?
Back to identity.
Identity, exactly. You're going to tap back into that. So, are you going to become a reader as opposed to, in 24, I'm going to read one book a month? That's an external behavior that you can do whether you like it or not. And once you achieve that external goal and you read that one book a month, you quit. And it's not part of you. It's something outside of you. So who says I have to do 20 push-ups? That was just something I said on New Year's Eve.
Right.
So it's not, you don't own it. And it usually becomes a wrestling match in your brain. So I say create a vision. I want to be a healthier person. I want to be in better shape. I want to become more of a musician. I want to become a songwriter. I want to become a hit songwriter. I want to live a sober lifestyle. What is your vision for you? Now, that's what you focus on. That's the backdrop behind, that's the scene behind everything. That's the backdrop for what you're going to do next. So now you're standing here, and that is where you want to be. So how do you get from here to there? How do you make your vision come alive?
Sure.
So if you want to be a reader, what do readers do? Becomes a pretty simple answer. They read.
That's right.
So if I want to be a reader, be a good idea to pick up a book.
Yep.
Lay it around the house.
And just be a reader.
Just be a reader. Read before I go to bed. Instead of turning on the TV when I get home, let me go out on the back porch, sit down and read. But if that's what I want, if I want to be a reader, then this becomes a natural step to do it. If I'm wanting to be in good physical health, well, going to the gym or going for a walk or doing a light workout in the morning makes sense.
Right.
Because it's bringing you what you want. If you want to live a sober lifestyle, when people offer you a drink, you say, no, thank you. Because I'm trying to live I'm trying to live a sober lifestyle.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
And this is all great advice that has come from many, many years ago. Proverbs.
Hey.
Without vision, the people perish.
See,
It's
All
pretty
knowledge
simple, pretty plain right there.
traces back.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
Without vision, the people perish.
Yes. What is the vision for your life? What is the vision for 2024? Do you want to see yourself in the executive role at your company? Do you want to see the church thrive? Do you want to see, the seats filled? Do you want to see the overflowing? Do you want to see people talking about, we're going to have a third service? What's your vision? Do you want to, now that you've done this, say for example, somebody's, working in a company and they develop the skill sets of, running the machine. Okay, now that you've mastered that, where do you want to go next? Do you want to go into sales? Do you want to move up into the supervisory management roles?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to go in 2024? Not specific goals of, I want to make X amount of dollars, but I want to be financially stable. I want to have, a solid savings at the end of the year. What do I want that spreadsheet to look like? Create a vision.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to know that I am quoting the Bible.
Nice job.
No plagiarism here. And then, once you set that vision, then it's simply coming down to what can I do today to create my vision?
There you go.
And so if I have a vision of being in better shape and being healthier, do I eat the pie or do I eat the fruit?
Right.
What would be better for me? What would draw me closer to my goal?
Mm-hmm.
You said, and this is, not a humble brag, but you had said that you wished you had put in more time and you thought how much further along you would be in your guitar playing if you invested as much time as I do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a guitar player, whatever that means.
Sure.
So I just set the guitar by the seat where I'm at the TV, or, it's conveniently located. So if, she's getting ready for us to go to dinner or something, I'll pick it up and just sit there and finger it a little bit, 5-10 minutes here, there.
Yep.
And it's added up. I haven't had any practice sessions where I sit down and pull out sheet music and, shut out the world. Just whenever I get 5 or 10 minutes, I'll sit there and finger the guitar. We'll watch a movie and I'm off to the right, where she can't, be bothered by my busy distraction, but I'll be sitting there fingering the guitar.
Yep.
And I'll just find little spaces to practice because I want to become a guitar player.
It's good. Players play.
Now,
Stealing those little moments.
the challenge that we all face is that day of no motivation. And I was thinking about this a while back. There was a guy at the gym when I used to go to the gym and work out. I would show up at 5:30. He was already there. Let me back that up. I show up at 6. He was already there. And he, obviously worked out in big muscle, bodybuilder type.
Yep.
And, eventually we kind of struck up conversation and eventually, spotted each other a little bit. So I felt, like I knew him. He was an acquaintance. I could talk to him. So I walked in one day at 6 a.m. He was walking out. And I said to him, "So you're quitting early, huh?" And he told me, "No, work asked me to run to Tulsa today and check out the pipeline. So I got my workout in early. I'll be on the road all day." So you got up 2 hours early to work out, to sit in the car for 8-9 hours. That's, that's
Some
incredible.
commitment.
And then another day he was in there, wasn't really talking very much. And I, asked him about that. "Hey, kind of quiet over there." And he turned to me and said, "I got the flu."
Still there.
But he's still there.
Yep.
And so, in the military, I was thinking about this. Like, they never taught us to quit. And, if you're on a ship and the thing catches on fire, you can't leave and call 911.
Yeah.
If you're out in combat and somebody's shooting at you, you can't say, "This isn't what I signed up for. I'm going home."
Yeah.
So how do you be successful don't quit,
Right.
but that's negative.
Right.
So I give you permission to quit. I give everybody permission to quit. Go to the gym, work out.
Yeah.
Do your practice that you kind of signed up for today. Eat the proper meal today. Tomorrow you can quit.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel like going to the gym today, go ahead, go to the gym today, because tomorrow you can quit.
Yeah.
You can always quit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go in today. Tomorrow you can quit.
That's got to be mentally healthy. To always realize, okay, I can quit tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of today. I'm going to do this today. That's some great advice. I heard that from a pastor one time at a conference. And he said, and it was just all pastors, and it was like 300 of us. And he said, gentlemen, he said, there's a whole lot of you who are sitting there right now, and all you're thinking about is that you want to quit, that the pressure's too
imagine.
much, that you just don't feel qualified, that you don't know how in the world you're going to continue on, and you just want to quit. But you feel so guilty that you don't want to quit because God called you to this. So I'm giving you permission to know you can quit tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. You can quit tomorrow. He said, listen, I quit all the time, but I always quit tomorrow. And so if you just focus on today, it'll work itself out. So many of the things that we're concerned and worried and all this, it's going to handle itself if you just handle today. And so, yeah, that's great advice.
Well, on your road to healthy thinking, on your road to cleaning up the cognitive distortions and thinking more positively, one of the things that the battle is in the mind.
Absolutely.
Because when somebody says, I want to quit, then the next thought is, well, I can't quit.
Right.
Because all these people depend on me, and God called me to this, but I want to quit. This is just killing me, but you can't quit, and you need a paycheck. And this battle sets up to where that's all you can think about, and you're just miserable all day long because of this argument between the ears.
Sure.
And there are cognitive distortions buried inside of that. We could reframe all day long and work on that. But until then, recognize I can quit anytime I want.
Yeah.
There's no law.
Sure.
So let me wrap everything up today. And tomorrow, I'll quit.
Yeah.
When I get up tomorrow morning, then I'll quit.
Yeah.
Let me knock it out of the park today. Let me finish up what I'm doing today. And tomorrow, I'll quit.
It's definitely a great or a much better way to approach the pressure that we put on ourselves. And there's nobody else putting pressure on, as far as ministry goes, especially. There's nobody else, as far as goals, nobody else is, as far as New Year's resolution, nobody else is putting pressure on us. We put the pressure on ourselves.
Right.
And then we are just simply battling ourselves. How crazy is that?
And just to clarify for people who aren't tracking that he just said I could quit. You can finish up today, quit tomorrow. Now, each time you say that, it's today.
Yep.
You get it? Tomorrow, today. So when I wake up tomorrow, it'll be
Yep.
today.
Yep. And it's a pressure release valve.
Sure.
It just releases you from feeling the
I have
pressure.
permission to quit.
Yep.
But this will be the last day. I'll go in. I'll finish it up. Write my resignation letter. Tomorrow I'll quit. Now the pressure comes off. And when you wake up tomorrow,
Huge.
You will be in a different mindset. You will have a different attitude. And tomorrow, when you wake up, is this the day that I quit?
Yeah.
Let me finish up today, and then I'll quit tomorrow. And that pressure relief and that changing the dynamic and the conversation in your mind frees you.
Yeah. For so many people in sobriety,
Sure.
that's a huge thing right there. They say, I can drink tomorrow, or I, do whatever tomorrow, but not today.
Not today.
Not today.
One day at a time.
Yep. So, That's huge too, because when you consider how much time we spend in tomorrow, or how much time we spend in yesterday, and we completely lose the gift of today.
Mm-hmm.
And so living in today, I want to be someone who lives in today. And so let's just focus on today. That thought actually hit me earlier this morning. I want to live in the moment. I want to be a person who lives in the moment and enjoys, because the thought hit me, every day matters. I'm finding people who are, being diagnosed with this, and thinking about people who, we've lost, and I'm just reflecting a lot. And so the thought really, really hit me. Each day is so valuable. And so, yeah, that's really good.
The things that people do that get us out of this day, and so I'm going to identify the negative behaviors rather than, because don't do this. Mm-hmm. But how often in your day do you spend gossiping? How often during the day do you spend thinking about what other people think, what other people said,
sure,
what other people might be thinking?
Yeah.
How much time during the day do you spend thinking about, the end of the week, the end of the year, 20 years from now, retirement? How much time are you spending mentally anywhere other than yourself and the next 8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like if you go on vacation. My pet peeve is to be on vacation and to have somebody talk about the next vacation.
Yeah.
Slaps.
You better not be saying something like that too close to me.
We're here.
Yeah.
and the flight doesn't leave until tomorrow, so let's enjoy today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be prepared to leave tomorrow, but let's enjoy today. Let's look at the beach today. Let's enjoy the food today. And that makes sense to people when they're on vacation, and you'll hear them say, well, I'm not going to worry about that because I'm on vacation. That I'll deal with that when I get back. We'll take that same mechanism and apply it to everything else.
Mm-hmm. You've doled out a whole lot of valuable advice over the last year. So can we talk about last year?
Sure.
But the best advice I think that you have given, as far as advice that I feel like I have grabbed a hold of and tried to apply, there's 3 very simple words. Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now.
So all of this, do it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's today.
Yeah.
Today is today. The trap that I have always fallen into, and I'm trying, my best to make a change there, is that my goals are always connected with what I want for other people.
Sure.
And it finally, like a load of bricks, just kind of hit me. And I felt like God was saying, start with you. Start with you.
Yes.
And start with me.
Yes.
And so my vision is to become someone very close to God. And so now I'm going to do the things that are going to help me to become close to God. There's a quote, and some of this came from a conversation I was having with a cousin at a reunion, family reunion we have every year right around Christmas. And he's a business owner. And he said, I was having a meeting with all of the employees. It's a pretty good sized company.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I want all of you to know that when you don't see me in the office, or when you don't see me, in the building in the morning, I just want you to know that I am spending time in prayer for all of you.
Wow.
And so his closeness to God, he commits, and he quoted Martin Luther, and he said, there's a quote from Martin Luther that says, "I have so much to do today that I feel I must spend the first 3 hours in prayer." And so, like, wow, okay, that's really convicting. And so, start with you, start with me. That's what I felt like God was saying. Start with me. Let's just get close, you and me. There's so much truth to the fact that you can't lead anybody anywhere, that you can't lead people beyond where you've been yourself. And so I'm just, that's my goal. That's my vision for 2024, is to get so much closer to God myself.
Illustrate the absurd with the absurd. And so, a pastor says, I'm responsible for my flock. I have to take care of these people. So the implication there is you can take care of them. Mm-hmm. You can control them. You can protect them from themselves when they're not around you. So if you can manage a church, your size with 2,000-3,000 members, you can handle caring for 2,000 or 3,000 people, then you have the ability to handle the city, yeah, 400,000 or 500,000, and the greater county, 1 million people. You have the power to care for 1 million people. Well, if you can care for 1 million people, then certainly you can handle everybody in the state and take care of all of their problems and keep their life going well. And if you can handle everybody in the state, well, who's to stop you from taking care of the United States and handling all the issues and problems coming at Americans? Heck, we just are going to appoint you supreme ruler of the earth. And you can take care of everybody.
I know somebody who can, but it ain't me.
One.
Right. Yeah.
We start laughing when we get out, Kansas, America, the world. Ha, ha, ha. But it's the same kind. You can't take care of anybody else.
Yeah.
You can be the best you can be. You can lead by role model. You can pray for them because he can take care of them. There's a lot you can do that will have great influence and great impact on people. But this concept of we need to take care of these people, and we lose sleep over what they're thinking, and we struggle with what they're doing, and we're out there trying to do things to get them to stop hurting themselves, that's impossible. Mm. And it destroys us.
Yeah. I was just this morning having a battle in my mind of how I can inspire our folks in the church to be more committed. Well, that's up to the Holy Spirit.
Sure.
I can maybe have some influence, but I'm not the one ultimately who's going to be able to get them to commit to God at a higher level. We have been given this little thing called free will. Therefore, God never forces himself on us. That's the thing that always kind of gets my attention with people who say that they don't believe in God, but then they're mad at God because he didn't stop this or stop that, or and so, or why does God allow this thing to happen and that? And well, the reality is that we have this thing called free will, and we're the ones who are creating all that mess. But he's the one that can help get us out of it. So my vision is to get closer. And as I get closer, then the things that I can control will elevate, and the things that I can't control will be put off to tomorrow. We're just going to tackle today.
Boom, do it today.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Do you mentioned it briefly earlier, but as we wrap up here, do you have something you want to challenge folks with in 2024? I know you can't make them, but do you want to throw out a challenge for them?
Well, I just think that the most important, so talked last Sunday about, I pray that your conversations are so much greater and full of purpose than ever before. Well, the number one conversation that I believe will create that is our communing with God, our conversation with God. So for everybody, I would say, let's just commit a little more time. You know, it's like you say, don't go out and feel like you're going to run a marathon. Just take a walk down to the end of the block.
Sure.
Start with a little bit here and a little bit there, and then just increase that a little bit as time goes by. Today, take care of today. Do it now.
Do it now.
Spend some time in Scripture. Spend some time just being quiet. Communicating with God is every bit as much listening as it is speaking. And so just spend some time being still, listening, and let's see what happens.
Pray. Well, I don't know what to pray for. Conversations are two-way streets.
Yeah, that's right.
So say, Lord, help me.
Yeah.
And then sit back.
Yeah. Yeah, I've fallen.
Listen.
I have spent way too much time myself feeling like prayer was a monologue with me going.
There's a in the Bible, the transfiguration.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that right?
Yep.
That is the funniest, most applicable scripture to my life, because for those not familiar with the Bible, or about as familiar as I am, Jesus tells his followers, I tell you, you will see me come into my glory. And he sets a time frame even. Mm-hmm. It's like before the end of the week, or you will see me come into my glory. And then 6 or 7 days later, he takes Peter and somebody up onto the mountain.
Yep.
And there, God appears, Moses, Abraham.
And Elijah.
Is it? Mm-hmm. And they're all there. And you see Jesus get transfigured, starts glowing white. Mm-hmm. And it's happening right before their eyes. And what does Peter say?
It's good that we're here.
I could build a lean-to or a tent over here for your friends.
Yeah.
And then God comes down out of the clouds, and I could just, like a frustrated parent.
Yeah.
Listen.
Zip it.
This is my son who listen. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Listen. It's happening all around you, all the time, all around you, all the time. It is happening. The signs and wonders are there if you will listen.
Yeah.
Look, listen, be still and know.
Yeah. I can really relate to Peter. Who is kind of like the character on In Living Color, where he's a little kid and he says, look what I can do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, God, look what I can do. Yeah.
Look what I can do.
Yep. Listen.
Yeah. Or as Ryan would say, focus.
Yeah.
Dad, focus.
Oh, Ryan.
Well, there's us an excellent stopping point. Mm-hmm. We
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you for continuing on this little journey with us.
As we wrap up today's show, this week's show, I am Lance.
And I'm Mike.
Mike on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
We're just these guys, catch us every week. Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and YouTube. We drop videos there as well. We'll see you guys next week.
Have an awesome week.